I've experienced a lot of these things I'm talking about today, and I've learned some the hard way, and I work with my clients every day to try to avoid these problems, some problems. At any rate, what to expect from our webinar, our tutorial today, is 50 proven tips about how to market your book more successfully. And we'll start off with the first 50 in this tutorial, then we'll move ahead. But our objective is to help you sell your books more profitably and sell more books and more profitably. You'll find at various times, I'll show you some handouts, but you'll be able to download those as you go through this. But just pause the recording and then click on this URL, and that will bring up your copy of the handout that I'm showing on the screen. But remember to pause first and then click on that URL. So the first of these tips, there is no one way to market a book. There is no formula. There is no exact way to make things happen. Everything is different. People look at marketing in a variety of ways, but there is only, I think, there are a variety of ways to do it. You have to find out what works for you, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. But just look at the process and try to find something that's different, something that you can make happen that's different from what everybody else is doing. And I love this illustration because some people look at the book marketing like as they would a tree. But look at that carefully. What else do you see there? Perhaps faces, and you'll see if to count them, there are about 10 faces here that you can find. But the idea is that when you look at the market, look at what is not there, what everybody else doesn't see, and try to make that happen. And that's, I think, a major key. Then understand what marketing is. It's not just promoting. People think that it's just getting a press release out and getting on TV and radio shows. There's a lot more to it. And in fact, there are the 4 major areas of book marketing are the product, the place. The place is being, let me just go back for a minute. The product is, it may be your book, or maybe some variation of that. And I'll describe all these things I'm talking about now. But the place, the distribution, it could be on the internet, or it could be through bookstores or other places. The pricing, how you price it, and then the promotion. So these will be part of our tutorials over these 150 tips, but they all revolve around planning. And that's the major topic of today, or one of the major topics of today, about creating that plan. But I think it all starts out with understanding of why you wrote your book in the first place. It may be for career success. Some people do that because it helps them in their advance in their career. Others do it because they want to enhance a business, or perhaps a cathartic effect. If there's a major tragedy in your family, is writing the book may help you get through it, or as a legacy. But see, you need to determine the reason why you're writing this, because that will determine all your strategies, all your marketing tactics, and all your actions as we go forward. Then decide how you want to publish. Based on your reasons for writing your book, do you want to get a royalty publisher? That's going to take you a couple of years, perhaps, as they go through the process of once you find the publisher. Or you may choose print on demand, which is something you get more quickly, but I'll talk about all these a little bit more in depth, or some of these a little bit more in depth later. But there's also independent publishing, which is the route I chose initially, where I was like the general contractor, where I went out and found the editor, I found the designers, and found the printers. But you can find independent publishers who will do that for you. The idea is that once you know what you want to accomplish, then you can proceed in doing that. And I'll proceed on the idea that everyone is in this for commercial success, that you want to make some money from publishing your book. So that's the perspective from which I'll be talking about from now on. So you want to approach your venture as a business. It's something that you try to find what's successful for you. But start off for getting a company name. When I first was published, I was independently published. I published it myself. And people would say, who's your publisher? I'd say, well, I published it myself. And I could see the eyes go down and, oh, no, another guy. So then I just created a company name, and they said, who's your publisher? I said, well, it's Marketing Directions. And they said, well, have your publisher send me a copy. But get a merchant account, get a phone number, get a website with that company URL on there. Get business cards, and just whatever you can to look like a business and make that happen. And then you have to do what's necessary to reach your goals, certainly in the proper sequence. You have to put in the time, put in the money, put in the travel if necessary. But you may have a day job, and you may, which is highly admirable. I don't suggest that you quit that until your book really starts to take off. But you may have the family responsibilities or a day job and hobbies, or things that you may not want to give up in order to make your book successful. So just keep that in mind, that if you don't start a business with really the objective to be successful making money, then it's you may not make as much as you so desire. But this is one of the handouts. This timeline that will be coming up here momentarily shows you the information that you can be doing to publish your book, and then the number of weeks before the pub date. The pub date being somewhat of an arbitrary date when you release your information, and I'll describe that versus others. But you need to join a publisher's group, copyright your manuscript, certainly. Get your ISBN, your Library of Congress number. When I first started out, I had no idea what an ISBN was or a Library of Congress number. I went to my local librarian, and she walked me through the process. And you're lucky because you have these tutorials to do that for you. But you have a lot of these things that you need to do weeks before your pub date. So you can start out well before 6 months or more before your actual publication date in order to do a lot of these activities that are involved with the marketing of your book. So do things in the right sequence, do the right things, and do them in the right sequence.